Bonjour, madame and monsieur. If not, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the Canadian Grand Prix. Of course, it is FRL, as always. It is F1 2021, F1 Season 14, round 11 of the championship as we take on the Canadian Grand Prix from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. My name is James Hedge. I'm Appel James. Hope you're doing well tonight. And joining me in the commentary box, as always, it is Mr. Jesse. Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing good. And how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Did you like my French there, by any chance? Oh god, I have to try and throw something in there. But yeah, it should be a really good night's worth of action, I think.
I hope so. Canada drivers, maybe as we said before the stream, one of the hardest tracks in the game, maybe, especially in qualifying with the invalidations. In the final corner, for example. So yeah, qualifying is really important around here.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it is one of those tracks where you can pick up, of course, a lot of invalidations out on track as well. To remind you, what happened last week in Singapore was a dramatic Grand Prix. Montana ended up retiring, of course, at the exit of turn number 1 and 2 in the opening couple of laps after, I believe, he pitted, if I'm not mistaken. So Montana out of the race quite early on in Singapore. That left Macho to win his first race this season. Great performance by him as well. His previous best result was 8th position, so Macho really came alive last week. Won. Jensen finished in 2nd, and YS Brand on his debut finished in 3rd. And what did that do to the championship? Well, Jensen now retakes the championship lead off Montana to 138 points to Montana's 126. It's a 12-point advantage coming into tonight. Barack in 3rd, a further 12 points behind Montana. He's on 114 in 3rd. 15-point gap there to Ruti in 4th on 99, and then a 10-point gap to Lou in 5th on 89. Yona in 6th on 78, he's got an 11-point gap to try and make up. Tom in 7th, who's not racing tonight, he's on 66. Kazizel in 8th on 44, Physico in 9th on 32, and Macho in 10th on 30 points, also tied with his Mercedes teammate Med TC. As a result, we've got Ryan Marley, Pettervol and Davidenko ran off the top 15. Sapala, YS Brand after his debut last week, Remco, Rocco and Yarrow all separating, all scoring the top 20 points, and then we've got further point scorers in Passix, Calamer, Bunty, Stephen Osh, Henry, Harmon, Bombastic, Hawk and Mentos, who've all scored points so far this season. Jensen leads the way though, Jesse, by 12 points coming into tonight. Obviously, very fortunate as a result of Montana's incident last week. I believe it was with Harmon, if I'm not mistaken, as well. What does Montana have to do to try and bounce back here tonight? Because, I'll tell you now, he is the king of Canada.
Well, he just needs to take pole then. Pole is really good around here. Because you can immediately block the guy in 2nd. So maybe he can drive away from the other people who are battling with each other, and then he can win it, and just hoping that Jensen will finish outside of the podium or something.
Yeah, you'd like to imagine so. Obviously, Barack as well, involved in the championship battle last night, by the way, in PSGL F2. Sadly, came out on the back end of that, with Tom winning the championship there. But Barack in 3rd as well, only 12 points behind. He's still within a good chance. He likes Canada as well, I believe. So Barack is in with a chance of actually winning here tonight as well. And we'll run through the constructor standings as well. We are waiting, I think, for a couple more drivers to join. It is Haas, though, out on top, 204 points. Alpine in 2nd, 174. AlphaTauri in 3rd, 119. McLaren in 4th on 116, Mercedes in 5th on 108, then Williams in 6th on 101, Alfa Romeo 7th on 81, Aston Martin 8th on 60, Ferrari in 5th, Ferrari in 9th I should say, on 55, and then Red Bull in 10th on 41 points. Haas leading the way by 30 points over Alpine coming into tonight. What do Alpine need to do to obviously try and gain, as I believe we've got everyone in the lobby now?
I think so, I would check.
There was only 18, I think.
Yeah, I think we can go. Jensen's typing, so we can go ready up, I think.
Yes, he's just literally put that message as I've just gone into the chat there. So yeah, we can start up. Alpine, though, as I say, 30 points behind Haas coming into tonight. They actually had a relatively even week in terms of the point scores. Haas finished on 20 points, Alpine on 19 points last week. Alpine, as I say, 30 points behind. What do they need to do to try and come back here? Because I can see both of their drivers are here tonight.
Hoping that both drivers, Lou and Barek, doesn't have much luck round here. Of course, Barek, after a 3-second time penalty added to his time, lost his win in Singapore. So that's why they lost a little bit of points, and the gap is now 30 points. Otherwise, it was a little bit bigger than it is now. But Alpine just needs to hope that both Haas drivers doesn't have that much luck in this race.
Yeah, definitely so. Canada is one of those tracks for trials and tribulations. Montana has said it's very overcast, actually, as we get in towards qualifying. Montana has said in the comments section, Canada believe you said this. That's a terrible pun, Montana. Do you mean king of speeding into the pits here? Maybe so. Who knows what's going to happen, obviously, going into the race. I think we're just waiting on everyone to join into the lobby. And we should be good to go, but it is very overcast, I can report on my end, certainly in terms of qualifying, and it is around this 4.361 kilometre circuit length, 2.7 mile. The two DRS zones, of course, shared by the same DRS detection point. We were having a discussion before we came live about this, and it's on the exit of turn 11 where the DRS is actually enabled, and that's where you get that first run down in towards the wall of champion chicane, and then in towards Virage Senna at turn number 1 and 2. That is the second DRS zone, but it's shared by the same detection point, and it comes just before the hairpin at Le Pingle hairpin, to give it its full name, at turn number 10. Montreal, though, is one of those tracks where you've got to be really on it right from the get-go, even in qualifying, and I would imagine drivers are going to have to be right on the get-go, right from the outset, because it looks like it could rain at any point.
It could rain maybe in 10 minutes time or something. It could rain on the track because people, or maybe even shorter, because people now going immediately out on the soft compound of tire, and yeah, some only on the mediums, so it could mean there's rain coming at the end of qualifying.
Yeah, possibly so. I believe Montana is the first man out on track. Second in the championship, of course, coming into tonight. And the Swiss man, hopefully, going to be hoping that boys do not cry out on track tonight. Only him will get that one if he followed Eurovision on Saturday. Montana, though, coming through in towards the chicane on the run up towards the hairpin. This is the DRS detection point just here. That little white line going across the middle of the track. That's where the DRS detection point is. In fact, actually, no, it's there. It's on the exit of the hairpin. I don't know what I've been on about. The DRS detection point is further down, actually, on this game compared to the last. And then the DRS detection point is there. So I might be wrong, actually, with there being two DRS detection points. And I think I am, because one of them is on the exit of turn 10. And yeah, the other one's in the middle sector, which is very, very strange indeed. Montana, though, is going to go on for a lap. Set us off compound tyres on, and the Swiss man flies himself in towards the Virage Senna, and then in towards turn number 2, the right-hander, and then, of course, in towards the right and left turns 3 and 4, famously where Hamilton and Vettel nearly came into colliding in 2019 around here, and Hamilton, of course, famously had to cut across the grass. Montana, though, coming through the first sector, 19 flat already. Very quick first sector for Montana. We should be seeing sub-18s, sub-19s through there even, as we now get to that DRS detection point. The DRS zone is enabled, of course, around here. There's 3 DRS zones, in fact, around this track, so just completely ignore what I said earlier on about there only being 2 DRS zones. Montana, though, is into the middle sector. He's absolutely flying on this lap, 40.6 in the middle sector from the Swiss man, and he's immediately looking to go quick. As you can see there, everyone's tyres off the left-hand side. It's on the Yona, Harman, Physico and Henry. That's on a set of medium compound tyres at this point in time. Montana on the run down in towards the wall of champion chicane at 13 and 14. You can take a lot of curb on this right-hand side. Not really shown by Montana there, avoids the curbs nicely. I think they're getting done for track limit, if I'm not mistaken, by the stewards, and Montana runs the line. 108.6 to start off the night. That's a very competitive lap already.
James, it's raining on my screen.
It is raining on your screen. It's raining on my screen as well. How did I not notice that?
So Lou goes to the quickest time now, so it could be pole position maybe for him now, because it's raining. It's only on 40,000, so it's really close. Some drives on the mediums now. But rain is not hitting that hard for now.
No, Moran is backed off his lap. Physicals on the lap running down in towards the chicane, the wall of champion chicane at 13 and 14. Oh, and he invalidates, coming through 14, but Luad on top, Montana second, Macho in third. Everyone getting valid lap times in for the top 9, that is. The bottom 9 are not showing any pace at all, and they've all pretty much invalidated the laps, apart from Yoro, who's on a lap, and it's a 41.2 in the middle sector. So if that's anything to go by, Montana and Lou's middle sectors were 40.6. That's anything to go by. We're already seeing the rain beginning to impact the track.
It is Montana had a little bit of rain at the end of his lap. These drivers are now getting rain the whole lap. Then Yaro really into the wall. What is it gonna be? 109.5, and that puts him in P8.
Yeah, that was on multiple runs actually on a set of soft compound tyres. So, with that being said, Montana also went for another one, I believe, as well. You spotted something?
Barek invalidated, so not good for him, as the rain is now getting heavier on my screen then. And Jensen, they're almost into the wall in his outlet. Physical, mediums invalidated, Marijn invalidated, and he's going into pits now.
Yeah, nobody's on a lap, I don't think, apart from this man here. The Alfa Romeo was just preparing up for a lap. It's Juan Rocco who is on a lap. TTML F1 driver, known very, very well indeed. Normally quite quick and consistent. We'll see what he can do. But the rain already impacting the track. I don't think it's going to be pole position right from the outset. And if he's just invalidated through the chicane there, that means it's a this and next lap invalidated. However, it's not. So, Juan Rocco on the run towards turn number 1 and 2. But you can already see the little spots of rain coming through turns 1 and 2. And Juan Rocco sliding his way out of turn 2 as well. Nearly a little bit of lag, I think, involved in that as well. Is Barak on the lap as well?
Barak is on the lap. He was already 9/10 slower than Lou and Montana through the middle sector.
And Barak should be, you would imagine, I think he'll go maybe about Harmon sort of area, Bunty Harmon sort of area, I would think, with this lap, coming around the final corner, on the run to the line, and it's exactly where I was expecting them to go, 110.1. We can already tell Yorl's lap was 9/10 off, Barak's lap is now 1.5 seconds off, so the track is getting worse. Everyone is trying to get lap times in. Jensen is one that is on a lap. I think Juan Rocco is still on one as well. 41.9 them in the middle sector, not competitive at all. These guys are going to be going 12th, 13th position, and for Jensen, championship leader, absolute nightmare because he invalidated his first lap, and he'll be hoping as Juan Rocco absolutely sends it through the chicane. Goodness me, that was so quick through there. And Juan Rocco goes to the line and he goes 110.5, 13th position. But they're still committing quite a lot out on track. Jensen toward the line now as well. The Alpine driver on the run to the line, and he goes quicker than Juan Rocco, which is at least a plus. He goes 13th ahead of Juan Rocco. But no real drivers are on a lap apart from Hawk and Physical, who are just preparing up for one.
Just again, a bad qualifying for Jensen now with the rain. We saw in Singapore last week also that it was too late out on track before the rain comes. And I think it's already qualifying over maybe.
Yeah, coming through turn 1 and 2 it looks a lot greasier. Even yeah, it looks a lot greasier compared to even, what, 2 laps ago I think.
Yeah, on my screen it's now hitting the track, so it will soon be intermediates.
Yeah, I might be about 30 seconds behind or something, because I'm on board with Hawk, and the track still looks greasy, but you can just begin to see the first effects of the rain beginning to happen out on track. Good evening, by the way, to Nick, who is in the comments section. Good old Nick, of course, former commentator here in FRL F1. Hopefully you're not missing the commentary box too much, Nick. Might have to see you back next season if you're not too busy. And Hawk is coming through the middle sector, 43.5 in that middle sector. Nowhere near. He's going to be going slower than Juan Rocco. And yeah, as you say, Jesse, I should say. Goodness me, it's the Dutchman in the commentary box that I always get confused with. Hawk on the run down, you can already see the track is beginning to be affected. Hawk is going to go for his lap, but he's not going to be anywhere near the top end of the field. In fact, he's not going to be anywhere near Juan Rocco on the run to the line. Yeah, 13.2. They may as well just get a lap time in and then come in the pits and retire.
Yeah, I think just everyone can retire now who's not on the lap, because it will not improve. And if it's not raining in the race, what's the point then of going on inters?
Yeah, Physical is back into the pit lane. He clearly feels like he's done. Montana is trying to get a little bit of soft running in. Henry's the first one to retire in the pit lane with 9 minutes to go in the session. Pretty much qualifying has already run. Very similar to Singapore actually last week in terms of the conditions early on in qualifying. Exactly the same. And it's Lou out on top. It's Montana in second and Macho in third as everyone begins to retire. You know what? If you want to get this race started earlier, everyone can retire and then we can get the race started about 8 or 9 minutes early.
Yeah. If it's not raining in the race, then it's no point to do laps on the intermediate tire. So I should say just retire if you want to get a quicker race start.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean, Hawk's into the pit lane, everyone's in the pits. Macho, however, coming out on a set of inters, so that might be something at least to go into, as Jensen has retired as well. Yeah, Macho's on a set of inters at the minute. He set his previous best on a set of softs, obviously, but he's on a set of inters, and that really strikes out to me as saying we are going to be getting rain at this race at some point. Don't know when. Ryan's retired in the pit lane as well, but Macho obviously wants to try and get lap times in if it is going to turn wet in the race, and I don't blame him, to be honest, and he's the only one out there at the minute.
It could mean something, but it could be not mean something, because most of the drivers are retiring now in the pit lane, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask in the chat actually. Are we expecting
dry race?
Dry race?
Yeah, Yuri saying that in the chat in YouTube. So
interesting. Oh, Macho very sideways out of the wall of Champion Chicane. I've just asked in the Discord, by the way, about it. So, might be the case, whereas Montana has retired out of the pit lane. Lou's also on inters, by the way. Physical also on inters. So they clearly want to try running in. Somebody's put a thumbs down to my message, and that is Yona who has put that. So I think there's no rain in the race, which is good at least, but puts more perspective now on those tyres. Henry and Yona, 4th and 6th position, the only two men who are on a set of medium compound tyre. That's striking, to say the least.
That will be a big advantage for the first in. Maybe if they can last their mediums much, they can maybe do one stop medium soft.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. I was just getting a message about PSGL. They've got new graphics for the final race of the season as well, which is good. Lou out on top though. Montana second, Macho on third. If you're just tuning in to commentary here tonight, myself and Jesse, of course, staying to the action. Lou's now retired on... I think he's retired... Yeah, he's back in the pit, so Lou's retired in the pit lane. Physical is going for another run though. Of course, he hasn't got a lap time in, so he needs to try and get one set in. Has DRS been disabled?
How is DRS now disabled? Not much earlier.
I mean,
to be understand this game, but okay.
To be honest, I'm on board with Physical, and it doesn't look like the rain's actually that heavy out on track.
It's not really heavy, but it's definitely inters.
Yeah, you were saying dry race in the comment section there, and Nick saying always miss commentating with you, mate. Hopefully back next season. Not to do any dishonesty to Mr. Jesse alongside me in the commentary box tonight, but I think that'll be a very good partnership going forward as well. Jesse is probably now going to call me a traitor because I've just said that. Physical, by the way, 17.5, and yeah, as you mentioned, we must be about 30 seconds behind in terms of the stream on my end, because the US has just been disabled on my screen as well, which is very, very strange, but there's only a couple of drivers on a lap. It's only Physical and Juan Rocco.
The time at the leaderboard is also now at 4.30 on my screen, so
oh yeah,
I should be 30 seconds ahead.
We've got the minute glitch, I think, is what we like to say here. Normally it's with lap times, but the minute glitch obviously is spawning on the spectator cam tonight, which is ridiculous. And hopefully, Codemasters, if you're listening, get this game fixed for next game and for next season in FRL and in any other league, PSGL, TCML, LOE, all of those really passionate, driven leagues that obviously play on the PS platform and on PC and Xbox as well. Get the game fixed for everyone so we can all have a good time, and as well, crossplay is apparently going to be coming in the game as well. Not sure when. There's been rumours actually circulating about crossplay being launched in September or October, so a couple of months into the game cycle, but that is all dependent apparently on the company that is doing it. They're in the Ukraine at the minute, and obviously everyone knows what's going on there, and the crossplay apparently is going to be coming in around September, October time, I've heard. There's a few technical glitches with it, but as a result we're going to be getting crossplay, and I want your guys' opinions actually in terms of crossplay on the new game. Jesse, first of all, what do you think about it? Because I think it's really good, but yes, it could ruin the league racing community.
It could be, but it could maybe really interesting maybe next season in FRL F1 with maybe some PC drivers, maybe some Xbox drivers even. So it could be really interesting, but also maybe a flop.
Yeah, definitely so. I think, honestly, most leagues, I think, will tend to go down the PC route, down the Xbox route, down the PS platform, as is the most with any other league on this game at the minute. I think that is probably the launch phase. And then when the crossplay obviously comes into play, we have to assess, A, are the servers going to be stable enough for it, and B, what are the pros and cons to each. And looking through some of it, Montana saying crossplay will ruin it. It's a completely different game on different consoles. And I've got to agree with that because, as I was saying there, majority of leagues, PSGL for example, they purely raced on the PS platform. They then went to PC a couple of seasons ago, and that's been an absolute roaring success. Here in FRL, we're only on the PS platform. So, yes, it opens up new avenues for Xbox and PC, but we want to try and retain as many drivers as possible, because I have a feeling if there's more crossplay, more drivers get closer to each other on different consoles, and then you have, 5 drivers on Xbox, 5 drivers on PC, and then 10 on PS platform. It's a bit of a disadvantage, to be honest.
On PC, it's much quicker, I think, than if you are racing on PlayStation, for example. It could ruin it, but it could also be a good future in the new game.
Yeah, I think honestly, for new leagues starting out and they go cross-play first season, I think that'll be really, really good for those start-up leagues. But like leagues like us, and like leagues like PSGL, TTML, who are already exposed and experienced in that field, it might just ruin them a little bit, I've got to be honest. And I'm speaking on that as not only a commentator here in FRL, but also as a league director in TTML, and also a commentator in LOE. So I know fine well as we're getting drivers now retiring, which is good. They've only given us a minute now to try and talk through all of this, but we're actually the only one left to retire. Tim as well, that's T-Hawk in the comment section. PC players will have a big advantage running at 200 and 300 frames per second. Yeah, totally agree with that. And also, they can run it with virtual reality headsets. So can you imagine that in League Racing as well? Virtual reality, and then half the field doesn't have virtual reality and they only can drive on wheel and pad. Again, it's a bit of a disadvantage. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Lou Adams up, Montana second match on third. No running, I don't think, in qualifying now. Barack just needs to retire from the session. If he's listening, please do this so we don't have to sit here waiting for a minute and talking on the new game anymore, because Coldmasters, I'm sure, are going to be tuning in and listening. And Seth as well saying good evening, guys. Good evening to you, Seth. I think this is the poor in the comment section, if I'm not mistaken. That, and we should be ending qualifying very soon indeed. It's a bit boring just sitting here and watching stewards and marshals just doing the same thing on the right hand side of the screen, and the crowd clapping, and yeah, it's a bit weird. But yeah, and Montana saying as well in the comment section, if they didn't change it, there's usually a ton of grip on the P2 grid slot. And Jesse, guess who's starting P2? I'm saying, guess who's starting P2? It's Montana. Montana is starting P2, and he's saying that there could be a ton of grip from the P2 grid slot. So we'll have to bear that in mind and see. But we'll run you through the grid order now, cause qualifying is done. Lou out on top for Montana in second, 400ths of a second, and Lou was saying how good he rated his chances. I didn't rate him that much, to be honest, coming into tonight, but I've been proven wrong in qualifying. Macho there in third, the race winner last week in Singapore. Henry in fourth, mediums, watch out for him. White's Brandon fifth, good debut last week, of course, carrying on his good form. Yona in sixth, set of mediums, watch out for him. Then it's Davidenko, Yarrow, MedTC, and Bunty running off the top 10. Harmon in 11th on a set of mediums. You would imagine, dry race, everyone's going to be starting on mediums. Barack, Jensen, Juan Rocco, Hawk, Physical, Ryan, and Marine, all getting lap times in the bottom two, right at the back of the field. Phil as well in the comment section saying wheels work better on PC, I heard. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Most of the esports guys have been commenting on that in their beta releases of the gameplay and everything, and they say the wheels is definitely better on that. Teok saying he's going to spin off the start. Hopefully not. Hopefully not going to cause any chaos down the back of the field. But Jesse, beautiful blue skies and sunshine, as I've just knocked my headset off my head. Beautiful blue skies and sunshine. What can we expect now from the guys out on track? Because this is going to be quite a wild race, I think.
DRS trains, crashes, safety cars, and hopefully some good battles with some very nice overtakes.
I hope so. I really hope so. We normally get a lot of good battles around here. If there's no carnage in the opening sector, or the opening two sectors around this track, we should be fine. Fingers crossed. F3 was clean last night, I believe, Jesse?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I didn't race. I'm back in Monza again.
Ah, you're back in Monza. I thought you raced last night. That's why I was coming to you and saying, oh yeah, F3 was very clean. From what I've heard anyways, F3 had the cleanest race of the season, apparently. It's because you weren't there, so that's probably why.
Yeah, well, I only watched the stream.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. And remember, actually, our sprint race is going to be happening next week as well in FRL for all tiers. That is around Monza next week, isn't it?
Well, the first sprint race in F3 was not successful.
Not successful.
Really that was dirty.
It was a bit like that, honestly, in F1 around Austria, I think, was the first sprint race. But hopefully we will get really good, clean driving more immediately here tonight in Canada, and hopefully for the rest of the season as well. Looking through the top 10, of course, we've already seen what tyres everyone qualified on. Set of soft compounded tyres for first to third, and then Henry and Yona, of course, on the set of mediums. Everyone else in that top 10 on a set of softs. Everyone else further down the field, though, apart from Mr. T-Hawk, going for a set of medium compounded tyres. Hawk going for a set of softs. You'd think, theoretically, he's going to be the quickest man out on track, but he has got quick drivers in front of him. Barack, Jensen, Juan Rocco. Keeps up with them, he's got a good chance.
Yeah, he will, from the back markers, will get the best start on that soft tyres, but he needs to avoid the carnage then that is maybe coming in turn 1.
Yeah, hopefully no carnage in towards turn number 1, and hopefully no heroics in towards the Senna S, please. But we are about to get going. 35 laps of waiting out on track. Yeah, the Senna S, the Virage Senna, turn 1 and 2. That's what I was on about there. Jesse, quickly, who's your top 3?
P1 Montana, P2 Henry, P3 Lou.
I'm going to go Montana, Lou, Yona, first, second, and third. And if that comes right, then you owe me a $5. There you go. But we better get going. Just waiting on Davidenko to ready up on my end anyways. And hopefully this is not going to cause a delay. And there we go. He's now readied up. And the 5 lights are now coming on here in Canada. Round number 11 of the championship here in FRL. And it's lights down, away we go. And Lou absolutely bounces off the start. Montana's going to get the run on the outside line towards turn 1. A good stop by YS Brown. He tries to go down the inside of Macho as well. But Montana loops it around the outside through the Virage Centre and gets the lead of the race. The grip was there for him. And the AlphaTauri takes the lead from the Haas. Macho there in third, held onto that position with YS Brown and behind. Henry there's dropped down to 5th. Yona there in 6th has remained where he is off the start. But Montana with an incredible start, leading the way from Lou in 2nd, Macho in 3rd. It's getting a little bit tight in the background of Sharp, MedTC, right on the back of Yarrow there. I think everyone is clean through. Physical and Hawk are having a battle further down the field as well. Bunty's right on the back of MedTC as we come now through the what would be a DRS detection point, of course, out on track. Jensen going side by side as well with Juan Rocco, nearly getting the move done there. The two TTML F1 drivers, of course, battling out here tonight. But Montana leads leads the way. Lou in second. Yara right on the back of Davidenko. That's nearly 3 wide into the hairpin. And MTC somehow locks it up. How on earth there hasn't been a crash there? I do not know. There has been a crash though into the hairpin. And it's Juan Rocco that has gone off. So Juan Rocco right down the back of the field has gone off. And now Davidenko on the back of MTC. How on earth MTC kept that control of the car? I do not know. Lou is back through to the lead of the race. And Davidenko and Bunty side by side. Bunty absolutely spears across the track. Of course, a big Constantine affected. Jensen's in the wall. And Physical, I think, has lost his end plate as well as Harmon. Harmon has lost a bit of front wing there as well. Baloo leads the way. Montana in second. Macho in third. Until the World Championship chicane, it was all clean.
Damage for Jensen.
Yeah, he has Jensen, Harmon, and I think Physical might have picked up damage in that. But Physical's actually... on the back, it might be Barack actually that has got the damage. We'll have to wait and see. All spawn in that mid-pack. There's more spinners actually, and that's Jensen round again through what was turn 5 and 6, and that was where, of course, Stroll and Hartley famously came together.
Barack also with damage, so he needs to beat. Bad luck for him. The driver was between the standings now. Jensen leading the way now, but Montana picks it up now as Jensen just damages world front wing.
Yeah, Jensen down there in 17th. Not the greatest start from the championship leader. If I was him, I wouldn't give up whatsoever, because anything can happen here in Canada's Metty C. Goes down the inside of Yarrow into the final corner, and the Finn through on the Dutchman, and he's through and he's into 7th position. Nice job there. I think Davidenko got through, and Bunty as well. There's going to be drivers flying into the pit lane on the left-hand side of the screen. Barack is the first man, Harmon, Marine, and Jensen all coming into the pit lane. Juan Rocco also came in as a result of damage into the hairpin, but he is on Trisetta Hall compounded size, and he is now going possibly at the back of the field, but it all depends where these guys actually come out with obviously another 5 seconds being added on to their time with the pit stop. But Lou leads the way, Montana in second. I don't know what happened, by the way, because Lou repassed Montana on the run down into the Wall of Champion chicane. I didn't see what happened there, to be honest. Did you?
I also didn't see it, but yeah, Montana will definitely overtake Lou maybe into the final corner, or wait until the first straight coming into turn 1 and 2 then. But yes, the garage now. It's behind Lou. Too far back now.
Yeah, Yonan was on the back of Henry in the background of the shot. He tried to loop it on the inside line into the hairpin, but he didn't get the move done there. So Yonan remains in P6. Henry's only dropped down 1 position. Wyerstrand had the best start of everyone. As actually Henry's in the pit lane. Is that right side end plate damage on the car, or is that an early pit stop?
Should be an early pit stop on the medium tyre.
From wing change.
Yeah, also in the pit, so I think they had an incident.
Yeah, maybe so. You might be right with that one, actually. He's into the pit lane. Mediums will go on. Henry, mediums will go on. And they're both out the pit lane.
Both a front wing change. So maybe they could have an incident between each other, or picked up by themselves damage. Montana picks up again a little short DRS now on Lou.
Jensen's on the back of Harmon, further down the field. Does get the job done. He's on the set of soft compounded tyre now, Jensen. He's through on Harmon, he's through into 17th. But yeah, Montana on the back of Lou.
Montana on the back of Lou, both on the soft tyre. Who will not come now, but maybe yes, they are coming into turn 1 and 2.
Do you think Montana will be content sitting there actually on the back of Lou? He's 5 seconds behind. He just looks content sitting there for now, because he just doesn't look like he's applying any pressure to the leader in front of him.
And Lou is using much CRS. Difference is like 20% or something now between them. So that is also an advantage for Montana, and maybe Montana staying behind to maybe do a possibly undercut on Lou.
Yeah, Ryan's into pit lane further down the field as well. I think that's for front wing change as well. Yep, it is. So front wing change going on. I think drivers are just clouting the wall out on track, and that's what we're seeing. Ryan, by the way, he's through on Juan Rocco, absolutely sails past him down the straight. Juan Rocco's got literally no ERS to try and burn there, and he picks up a 3-second penalty. Marine's on the wall. Marine in the wall, around the wall, a champion chicane claims its first victim, and is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. Safety car deployed out on track, and Marine took too much curb on the right hand side, lost the oversteer, but look who's just came out the pit lane. Ryan's just came out the pit lane, and he has literally came out in what, a really good position actually, because he's just came out the pits. He's got a free pit stop now over everyone.
soft turners will bid, I think, I know, for them with their strategy. That's
They
what
will.
Lewis gonna do. Lewis bidding, Montana's bidding.
Oh, Macho stays out!
Ice Brand's into the pit lane. Jonah will definitely stay out. Matty C is bidding. Davidenko was bidding. Bunty's bidding. Physico stays out. Volk is bidding. Henry also will stay out. Same for Yavo, same for Barek. Juan Rocco can maybe go to medium tire now. He is on the hard tire. Jensen Cult pits. That's how he will not make it now on these soft tires. Ryan will not pit. Same for Harmon, he will also not pit. But interesting from Macho that he stays out.
Yeah, Macho's staying out. I'm on board with him. Set of soft compound tires. Jonas also stayed out. He's on a set of mediums, so why wouldn't he? Physical as well on a set of medium compound tires. They're on more worn mediums, but they're going to have fresher tires than Macho, and that is guaranteed because Sodasofts last 5, 6, 7% a lap, I think. They go around here. Yona and Physical, those mediums will only be going, what, 5% I would think a lap. So Yona and Physical are in a really good spot compared to Macho. Macho's obviously going to be saving up his tyres, but they're both in a really good spot. Obviously Lou, Montana, YS Banner on much fresher mediums. They came out the pit lane. Henry also stayed out in that as well. He's there in 8th position, and I don't blame him for staying out because he's gained positions now. He just came in the pit lane after contact with the wall, and now he's up in 8th ahead of Bunty. So Henry's actually got a really good chance. If he's got good pace, which I think he has shown around here before, he could have a sneaky chance of getting the top 5 finish, as Bunty has been overtaken by Davidenko, which is weird, and now they've changed back positions.
Weird situation there. 9 and 10. Bunty and Davidenko.
Oh,
Bunty gets the position back again.
Is
and
Bunty...
now Davidenko did... What's going on right now here?
I thought Bunty was an AI or something, or he...
I don't know.
Or he was getting, like, disconnected or something. I'm running with Davidenko now. Ah, Henry's an AI. Henry's an AI in AI ahead, so that might be why, because Bunty's obviously having to take avoiding action, and he doesn't want to go on the back, obviously, of an AI car. Now Henry's back out of AI. I don't really get that, to be honest. Drivers going AI on a safety car doesn't really sit well with me, to be honest. They should just be in control of their car 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is now why he is on AI. But yeah, he's now in 8. Is he now out of AI? Yeah, he's out of AI.
Yeah, I think he needs to get prepared for the safety car restart, which I think is going to happen this lap around. Macho leading the way, obviously. Yona in 2nd, Physical in 3rd. Jesse, I'm going to put you in the shoes now of Macho. What would you do if you were Macho off the safety car restart? Would you just go immediately and try and wear out the field in behind?
I think I would go a little bit late after the chicane. And just hope maybe there is some carnage then at the restart, and then drivers are battling each other and then drive away as much as possible on these soft tires, as he needs to pit soon, I think.
Yeah, possibly so. Yeah, Macho's tyres will be going... He could get 12 laps. I could see him getting 12 laps, actually, on those set of softs, but he'll be in a much better position to get a one-stop. But I think immediately he's going to go, even before the chicane, because he just wants to back up this field as slow as possible, like he did in Singapore. Doesn't want to cause any carnage in behind. It's looking all good at the minute. Yona is on the back of him, though, and he's right tucked underneath that rear wing of the Mercedes, and the Mercedes is going to choose when to go. It's a very slow run down the straight here, but surely he's got to go into the chicane. There's no other possibility for him, but he's just waited and waited. It's like Magello sort of start this in 2020. Macho leading the way, though. Yona in 2nd, and now Macho on the exit of the corner. Still waits. Is he going to go? When's he going to go? Go, man, go! Macho and Yona. Yona's just tucked into the rear wing, and everyone's just having to take avoiding action. That's a real messy restart, and now Macho goes. Now Macho goes and Lou's on the inside of Physical. In towards turn 1. Yeah, he gets the job done. Down the inside line. Wyatt Sprent was on the back of Montana as well, I think, in towards turn 1. Doesn't get the move done there. And Matey C has been spun. Yeah, he has. He's been spun through turn number 1 and 2, and that's what happens when you have a slow safety car restart, and to be frank, a dangerous safety car restart at that as well. Macho leads the way, Yona in second, Lou in third, Harmon has dropped down the field as well. He's made a mistake to turns 3 and 4, and Physical gets the job done on Montana.
This is really good for Lou, as Lou is 1 second away now. Physical holding up Montana much. So this is really good for Lou, for a possible race win.
Not for long. Look at him, down the inside goes Montana into the hairpin. Physical takes a board in action, and he's been spun by Weyersbrand on the inside. Weyersbrand just, I think, got caught up. I'm not sure if there was a bit of desync actually involved in that concept, but Montana's through. Physical's all the way down in 14th now. Absolute tragedy for him. Lou's going side by side on the outside of Yona. No way into the chicane. That was never going to work from Lou. I don't know what he was thinking there, but now he gets to run down in towards turn number 1. I can see a double wheel arch on my screen, which is very, very off-putting, to be honest. Henry's on the back of Davydenko and towards turn 1, gets the job done there, and he still needs into 6. Davydenko's lagging a lot out on track, but Macho leads the way. Yona second, Lou in third. Lou got the really good stop, and now he's caught in a DRS train, and Montana's in 3
Yeah, this Montana hunting down Lou now for net P1, as Yona and Macho still needs to pit, and Macho needs to pit about in 3 laps, 4 laps or something. Look at that soft grip, it's not good anymore, and we see now a train behind him.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, honestly, if anybody tries to go for a dive bomb on him down towards the wall of Champion Chicane. Juan Rocco, by the way, got the move done on Hawk. They were having a really good fight through the middle sector, and he got the job done there. Here comes Lou on the back of Yona, who's going to try again on the back of him, this time to the inside line, puts Yona offline, and to be fair, Yona backs off, and that's exactly what we want to see. Don't want to see close quarter action into the final corner, and now Yona... Yeah, really good exit out of the final corner, on the run to the line, but doesn't get the move. So Lou's move is through, and he's into P2. Yona there in third. I think he'll be happy with that, though. We'll just sit him behind. He's got Montana in behind him as well. And Yona and Montana, obviously, when they like to fight, they like to put on a show, like we saw, of course, in Jeddah earlier on this season.
Yeah, they did. But now Lou needs to overtake Macho quickly, and then hoping that Macho and Yona will hold up Montana, and he can pull the gap then. And I think he will try it into the World Championship game again, as he did on Yona, as he will have DRS soon again after the hairpin.
Yeah, Montana, though, was a man on a mission. He's right on the back of the front 4. And now Weyersbrand and Henry have joined the party as well. So suddenly a 3-car battle now becomes a 6-car battle out on track. And Lou, as you say, is on the back of Macho. This should be dead easy down the straight, you would think. He should have the run. He should have got the DRS. He pulls off along to the inside line. Macho will try and force him across, but Lou is through and he's into the lead of the race. And however Macho may try, he fails. And Lou's through and he's into the lead of the race. And also he picks up the DRS just for good measure as well, as Montana gets a really good run on the back of Yona. Look at this down towards turn number 1. Montana on the outside line of Yona. He had a really, really poor Waller Champion chicane. And now on the Virage Centre in towards turn 2. Montana on the inside line gets the job done. He takes full responsibility for that. Montana through and he's into third. Yona falls in for a mistake. Macho also falls in for a mistake because he's just picked up a 3-second penalty.
Really good move from Montana on Yona. We just see that he getting more grip in his tires now than Yona, whose tires also are gonna fall off soon. So Macho now 10 laps, full tires. Look at the pace. Montana is closing in really quickly. Maybe he can go... no, too far. I was gonna say maybe Montana could go for the dive bomb down the inside at the hairpin. But he didn't. Too far back. Way too far back.
No, I think honestly, if he wants to set it up anywhere, it'll be the Waller Champion chicane in towards turn number 1. But he's too far back, so I think Macho, unless Macho decides to come in the pit lane, I wouldn't be surprised if he does, to be honest here. Stays out another lap, but Macho has got to think about coming in the pit lane. But Montana gets a good run, not going to get the good run though at the final corner. Juan Rocco as well, the 2 Spaniards battling further down the field, Davydenko and Juan Rocco 7th and 8th. Juan Rocco actually impressing me for some reason here tonight. Obviously he's a TTMLF1 driver, now TTMLF2 driver, but he's there in 8th position, doing a good job. Matey C and Hawk also having a battle. Physical joins in on the fight there as well, on the exit of turn number 2, and Physical tries to look to the inside line, doesn't get the move done there. Jensen, by the way, championship leader. Montana in third. Big points haul for Montana coming. He will retake the championship of the lead as it stands at this moment in time, because Jensen's outside of the points. Montana's in third, picking up 15. Be a 3-point advantage as it stands, but Macho, remember, has got a penalty.
Yeah, it will be more. It will be 6 points now, the advantage, as Jensen is now last.
Ooh.
The race per second behind Harmon.
Just first resemblance of any sort of mistake there, I think, by Montana in towards the hairpin. Just went way too deep on the brakes there. Somebody that's not going to be way too deep on the brakes is Juan Rocco. He's on the back of Davidenko, pulls alongside. With no ERS, he's just got the job done. He's into 7th, and Juan Rocco's showing why he is a very good, top-class tier driver out on track. Bunty and Yorrell the next battle as well. Further down the field, 9th and 10th position. Yorrell looks to the inside line on Bunty. Not going to get the move done there on Mr. Parker, who is there in 9th position. That is his surname, by the way. I've just outed everyone on the stream. And Barack is now right on the back of Yorrell as well. But more immediately, I think Jesse Montana on the back of Macho. I think he's just content. Send him behind. Remember, though, they're both NSX teammates, so Montana will probably pull the trigger of when, or Macho will probably pull the trigger when to let him through, and this is going to be the case. Lets him through there, dead on time. Montana's into 2nd.
Yes. I wouldn't have thought it will be that easy, but yeah, I think Macho's now gonna pit. His tires are just absolutely dead.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Jona's tyres compared to Macho, they're on the same amount. Macho is hardly blistered. Sorry, Jona is hardly blistered. Macho, his right front tyre is completely blistering now out on track. They may only be about 50% still, but I would say Macho, he stays out. Macho stays out, so
I think he will go for the one stop now.
Yeah, he clearly feels happy on those set of softs. I don't blame him, to be honest. He looks like he's still got a bit of pace.
He can follow Montana now. He is staying in the DRS. He was also in the DRS of Lou. He's getting out of the DRS. I think if he gets out of the DRS and doesn't have really the pace of Montana and Lou to stay in the DRS, that he will pit this lap.
Yeah, he's just dropped out the slipstream as well. Has Macho. It's now out of DRS range, in fact.
As Montana maybe can overtake Lou. World champions.
If I know Montana well enough, he'll sit in behind and wait. Just wait and apply a bit of pressure until Lou makes a mistake. That will be Montana's ploy here.
It could be. Look at the ERS difference. Montana on 70%. Lou only on 20%.
Watch him waiting behind though. Yep, he backs off the throttle and he's got to wait in behind. Jona though, down the inside line. Macho bails into the pit lane, not surprised. Jona's through and he's into 3rd. Macho now into the pit lane. And YS Brand actually has got a really good run on the back of Jona. In towards turn of 1. Will not get the move done there. Barak's on the back of Davidenko. 2 Spaniards again battling out and he's through. And he's into 7th position around the outside of turn number 1. Nice move that by Barak. And he's through and he's into 7th position. And we've got really quite a few groups now beginning to battle out on track. Macho's coming out the pit lane. He's in clear air, crucially. And it's Lou and Montana for the lead of the race. Jona, YS Brand, Henry, Juan Rocco. That's another battle. Then you've got Barak, Davidenko. Possibly Barak by himself now, actually, because Davidenko, Bunty and Yorrell are having their own private fight. Medzi C's also in that. Then Ryan. So you've got basically 3 or 4 groups out on track now that are going to be battling each other. And that could cause maybe a few incidents, maybe a few safety cars as well. But it's up 15. And speaking of which, as soon as I've said that, Barak is in the wall, coming out of the 3rd chicane. And that is through turns 8 and 9. He has spun that. I don't think he's hit the wall, though. So he might have just got away with that.
There's no damage. SIC, but yeah. It's always...
Oh, Henry! Down the inside of Jona. Sorry to cut you off. Jona's picked up a penalty as well. And now YS Brand is going to have full measure on this as well. Montana's going for the race lead around the outside of Lou as well. Montana tries to chop him up there. Lou on the inside line, out for the outside. He'll have the traction on the outside. That has the AlphaTauri now on the inside line, and the AlphaTauri waiting behind. Got battle that though for the lead of the race. Well, Henry, by the way, got through and he's into 3rd. YS Brand, the battle that I was going to cover, is now in 4th position, and Juan Rocco's trying to go all the way around the outside of Jona into the 1st sector, down the inside and towards turn 6. They're leaning on each other. There's contact between them both. There's a bit of lag involved in that as well. So Juan Rocco there in 5th. If I was Warren Rocco's shoes, though, I'd be giving up that position straight away because penalties might be incoming.
Penalties, yeah, we see some drives already with a penalty. Henry, for example, so his front is now net P3 if you look from penalties. And also Henry needs to make another pit stop. Same for everyone, I think, apart from Macho.
Yeah, my team Bunty's having to go battle down the straight as well. I'm going to run on board with the battle for the lead, though, because Lou leads the way. Montana there in second. Oh, and Montana very, very close to hitting the wall there on the wall of Champion Chicane. How on earth he recovered that out the wall, I do not know. He hasn't got any damage on the car. It was just a pure snap almost into the wall. And Montana there in second position, just about keeps alive in the race. Henry, though, I did say watch out for him in this race. Possibly still going to come into the pit lane, but he's there in third position on merit, and he's got pace.
Macho picked up the fastest lap. Montana now with a 3-second time penalty.
Crucial.
Also, 2 corners earlier, Yarrow picked up another penalty, so he's on 6 seconds now. But also Montana picked up 3 seconds now.
And if I was Montana, I'd be sitting and not holding back on this lap around because I'd be wanting to try and get the move done and try and pull away that 3 seconds ASAP. ASAP out on track. Yona threw on one Ruckle, by the way, out of the chicane, and he is through and he's into 5th position. There's a bit of contact, actually, and it is one Ruckle. I think it was... No, there was a yellow flag there, but I don't know who it was for. Was it for Harmon? It was for Harmon. Baloo leads the way. It is nearly the halfway stage, actually, in Canada, and Baloo that leads the way. Montana in second. Montana's just holding back for now. Henry there in third. YS Grant in fourth. Yona there in fifth. One Rocco into the pit lane. I think that's damage, and that's a retirement into the pit lane. That's unfortunate. Matey C and Davidenko side by side. Matey C through, and he's into sixth. Having a good race, actually, tonight, the Mercedes driver, all the way from the back of the field. Matey C there into 6th position, but one Rocco retiring. There must have been some sort of contact between him and Bunty, I think, because they were side by side coming out of the chicane.
It could be. Yeah, Lou is leading now. Montana 2 tenths behind. I don't know if we can remove a warning, maybe, but we will see.
Yeah, how much Montana... Look at how much Montana has got in terms of the ERS, by the way. 95% of ERS. Lou has got 27%. He's holding back so much ERS. He is doing the tactic that I'm thinking he's going to do, and he's just going to sit and wait in behind, but he needs to try and get this move done, because he needs that 3-second penalty to either be removed, or he needs to get it out on track.
I think Montana will go sometimes for the fake move, makes Lou into mistakes, and then maybe Lou picks up a 3-second time penalty also, and then overtake Lou and drive away.
How many warnings is Lou on at the minute?
Let me have a look. 1, 2 warnings.
Oh, there you go then. So if Montana now gets that information, probably listening to us on the stream, so he has just got that information. Lou has got 2 warnings. Put the pressure on. That's what I would do with this scenario. Put the pressure on. Try and force the driver into a mistake. Yeah, he looks close enough, but he's not going to go for the move. I know him too well for him to go for the move, and he's doing a good job out on track. But Henry in behind, look at the pace Henry has got. Yes, he's used up more ERS than Montana, but he's there on merit. YS brand as well. I don't know where we've got him from. Again, in a really good shout of picking up a 2nd podium in 2 races. He's doing a phenomenal job there in 4th, and he's just sticking with these guys. As now Montana uses a bit of ERS down the straight there. He's not going to go for the move, is he? I thought he was for a second there. And now, out of the final corner, this is Montana's move, shooting down and towards turn number 1. He's on the outside line, running adjacent to the pit wall. We go on to lap 20. Montana takes the lead of the race, defends the inside line as if his life depended on it, and he's through and he's into the lead of the race. And Montana now through. What does he do now? Does he sit back and force Lou into a mistake to get that 3-second penalty, or does he just pull away out on track? And I think immediately he's going to pull away on track.
Yeah, I think he will pull away on track. Look at the pace now.
Yeah, he's in clear air, and look at that, 7/10 of a second already, the gap, and Lou was having to use up his battery just to keep with him.
Lou was almost nothing ERS and Montana on 70%. I think Montana will just pull away and win it.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, he is the King of Canada, as I've given him his nickname here tonight, so I'm expecting him to prove that fact. And it's Montana that leads the way, Lou in second. Some of the comments, by the way, that's been coming through, I haven't been ignoring the comment section. Mark saying the restart was fine, it's everyone not saying single file, that's the problem. Yeah, look like it on that on our end as well. And Nissy as well in the comment section saying, why is Barack always crashing and spinning in every damn race? He cannot catch the luck. That is why he keeps on spinning, even in other leagues as well. PSGL last night, he was in a really positive position, then spun, then ended up getting P10 out on track, and that's just the nature of league racing.
Macho
you get good days and bad days.
Macho picked up some damage, and that's his race ruined.
He can get set of softs to the end if he safety car ideally needs to come out for him, I think, now though, to get those tires to the end.
Yeah, he just almost has nothing. And Montana is using it all now, Lou's outside of the DRS of Montana. So now it's the point that Montana will try to pull away and just win the race.
Yeah, Matey C, by the way, is on the back of Yona. This is further down the field, 5th and 6th position. Look at how much Yona has lost in terms of his time, though. That gap was a second. He was on the back of that DRS train. And now he's not, and Matey C is going to absolutely saunter by him down the straight, and Yona, of course, still needs to pit in. There is a yellow flag. Is that Macho again that is round? It is Macho again that's round. In that middle sector, there was a yellow flag there, and Henry goes for the move on Lou. In towards turn number 1 and 2. We just got him with that a little bit late, but Henry and Lou on the outside line, side by side in towards turn 3 and 4. Hamilton Vettel didn't end up nice this way, and Henry gets the job done. Nice stuff there by the Brit on the back of the Dutchman. Gets Looney's into second, Lou there in third, and maybe Lou, in that early part of his stint, pushed too hard on those mediums. Henry looks fresher on those mediums, and he's now into second with Wyatt Brown on the back. And there's another yellow flag, and that was for Yoro, I think.
He also picked up now another penalty. And look at the gap of Montana to Lou already. 2 seconds.
Yeah, there's the leader timing that I've just put up on our screen as well. 2.1 seconds the gap between Montana and Lou. That gap, you would only think, is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as this race progresses out on track. Wyatt Brown on the back of Lou, getting close, but not close enough. Of course, drivers might think about coming into the pit lane again if they can't get their tyres to the end of the race. And there's nothing really happening further down the field that can cover either, apart from Macho and Harmon who are having a battle on the other side of the track, and Macho's got that move done for the wooden spoon. He's into 15th position. However, Macho's just let him back through down the straight there. I saw that on the mini-map, and he lets him through as Physical and Hawker in the pits.
They are. Pisco needed to make a pit stop. Yona also. Yarrow retired
Pit lane.
In the pit lane. So no points for the Dutchman, who is reserved now.
Yeah, Jensen, by the way, 11th position. Just saying, possibility that he might pick up points. Not out of the question, but it's going to come to that old battle between him and Barack, I think, for that final point scoring position out on track. Of course, if a safety car comes in, opens up the race quite a lot out on track. And Nissy's saying he got a bad internet connection yesterday, got glitched out, and don't think he spun. Yeah, I think it was a bit of decent contact. I covered that race in F2, and it looked to me, I said it in commentary, it was a bit of decent contact. So yeah, totally agree with that sentiment as well. As Henry's in! Henry into the pit lane from second position.
I know why. He did a medium, and now he needs to pit to
softs.
Another tyre.
This'll be softs, and this'll be 11 laps, and this'll be the quickest man out on track coming in the pit lane. There's also another pit stop, Yona in. I'm not surprised because he hasn't pitted in just yet. Has Yona. And where is Henry going to come out? If he comes out behind Barack, he's in trouble. If he gets ahead of Barack, he should be fine. This is going to be close on the exit of turn number 1. Henry's on the outside line. And he gets ahead of Barack. He nearly goes too deep in towards the exit of turn number 1, though. And Henry is ahead of Barack. That is absolutely crucial. He's on much fresher tyres. He's right on the back of Davydenko. And do you know what? I think he's going to send one in towards turn number 6. He goes down the inside line, does Henry. Down on the inside. Davydenko just says, you know what? Come through. Henry soon he's into 7th. Easy job. But how much time can he gain? Can he get Bunty and Med-TC? Possibly for a P4 finish. If and only if, drivers do not pit in who are obviously ahead.
It's getting cloudy. Also
It is.
now, but I think it's not gonna rain. Or it's just... Lightweight, Montana into the pit lane. Same for Lou.
Weisbrand followed in as well. Yep, they're all in. And Henry's just gone through on Ryan. This is crucial. Henry through on Ryan. He's got much fresher solid soft compounded tyres. They're only going to work to a 2-second advantage, but that 2-second advantage could potentially put him in this lead of the race. Montana's on the exit of the pit lane. Henry, I think, is going to fall in behind here, if I'm not mistaken. There is Henry, there is Montana, and do you know what? This is going to be really close on the pit lane exit. Henry might be ahead, you know. Henry's on the inside line. There's Bunty. Oh, and Montana's just ahead of Bunty. That is crucial for Montana. Gets ahead of Bunty. Henry there is right on the back of Bunty. He's almost literally wheel blocking him through the chicane there. Gets the job done. He's into third. And now Henry can set about going on that sort of soft compounded tyre on the back of Montana. But rain coming. Medium stint for Montana. And Lou and Weisbrand came in for a set of softs. Yeah, and Lou's just got the move done on Ryan as well.
Lou also had desync at the entry pit lane. So that's why he lost so much time. Icebrand almost overtook him also in the pit lane. So...
Do you know... I'm just going to say this now. And do you know how they said there's going to be no rain in this race? I have a feeling Montana's gone on that sort of medium compounded tyres thinking there's going to be rain at the end of this race. Set of softs are not the best tyre to be on a wettening track. Mediums are probably the better tyre, and the cloud has just suddenly built over the circuit. There's 10 laps to go. Rain can easily fall on the next few laps, and if it does, it's going to wet the track before the end of the race. We could be in for a stunning end to this race.
It could be, as Lou is now really close to Bunty, losing some time there. In the Vettel-Hamilton chicane, that's how I call it. Yeah, Matty C leading the race now.
Barak just said he got into the back of Ryan, just in behind, and Ryan's having to defend this position very, very hard off Barak. And Barak, in fact, they both didn't pick up any DRS there. That was very strange. They didn't pick up any DRS there. 6th and 7th position. Weisbrand's obviously going to be on the back of them in no time. But that battle for Henry and Montana, 7/10 of a second. It's getting closer, but it's getting a lot cloudier, and still have a feeling it's going to rain before the end of this race. Has to.
It could be, if it could, maybe not. We will just wait and see the action. As Henry made a little bit of a mistake, it looks like. At the final corner, Barak and Ryan are battling as Barak is through Ryan.
Yeah, Weisbrand as well on the back of Barak and Ryan. That battle for 6th position. And he's on the set of soft, but he's got to realise that if there is a threat of rain coming, he needs to get this move done now. And he's on the outside line, and Ryan's just been eaten up here, I think, by Weisbrand to the outside line. Ryan doesn't fight. He's through, and he's into 7th. Nice move there by the Red Bull. Much fresher tyres. He's now got Barak in front of him. Henry's tyres, though, all of a sudden, he's got to Montana, and then they've just switched off. It's like they're almost not working on the track surface now. And he picks up another penalty.
Picks up another penalty also, so he definitely will not win it for now. Montana is on 3 seconds, and Montana is on the back of Matty. Matty also gets DRS of his teammate now. He was in front of him.
Montana didn't get any. Montana didn't get any, and this is going to give Henry a big chance in towards turn number 1. This is Henry's open goal opportunity to get Montana out of the final corner. He realised he hasn't got any DRS, but he's not close enough.
Matty can possibly win this race.
He could. He could. He's... on the
podium. At least at the podium.
Yeah, but Lou, though, has got no penalties. He's there in 4th, and he's only 2 seconds off basically the lead of this race. Oh.
Yeah, that's also a thing. But Lou, he is on 2 warnings, so he will pick a penalty really shortly.
Matey, so he gets another dose of free ERS off Macho. Macho, by the way, is a lap down, just for anything.
His teammate now.
Oh, Montana picks up another penalty! And he cut the curb. I was on board with that, and he cut the curb on the inside through turn number 8. He rode too much curb, and it's now even again.
Because of his teammate is really helping Matty C to try and win this race. It will be amazing if Matty C wins this race in a long time.
There's the sun out as well.
Now. And Henry.
Oh, and Henry, look at him! Oh my god, he's got that move done. How on earth has he happened? How on earth has he managed to do that? That was insane.
And Matthew again helping his teammate with DRS to stay in the 3 seconds of Montana and Henry for a possible race win. But I think podium, yeah, I think he will finish 3 or something, Matty C. Look at how much they are getting away, maybe not even P3.
Yeah, sun is now out on track, by the way, so no threat of rain, as was said in the early parts of this race.
The Red will go for the fastest lap then, I think. He pitted for a new set of soft tires. It wasn't 25 lap old mediums, so he could pick up a puncture if he drives a little bit longer with that.
Oh, Lou's right on the back of BTC's into the back of him. Just had to switch the line into the hairpin. I'm not sure if there's any left side end plate damage. The left side end plate hit the back tyre of MidTC, but look at the run. He's getting down the straight into the wall of Champion Chicane. He gets a double dose of DRS as well with Macho ahead of him, and Lou doesn't need to go into the back of MidTC. But he does get the move done. He's into P3, and MidTC's hopes of a podium now fade as Montana sets the fastest lap of the race. But Lou now in clear air, surely going to go for that fastest lap attempt. As Davidenko's right on the back of Jensen, coming into the wall of Champion Chicane as well. Spaniard through.
Macho could be really annoying for Lou, as Lou is hunting down for the win. The gap is 3.5 seconds to Montana, but Macho can be really annoying if his ghost is just driving in Lewis' car. So I hope if Lou is much quicker than Macho, he will move out of the way. Maybe see outside of Pelto for the win now on penalties.
And I'm not sure as well, Lou basically, all he needs to do is stay within 6 seconds of Montana and he's won this race. It's 3.4 seconds. I'm getting a bit concerned that those tyres are not going to go to the end of the race. And he's not hemorrhaging time, but he is just beginning to lose time out on track.
3 ERS, it's so low.
Helps him along.
Yeah, Lou just needs to push now.
Yeah, he's P3 and he's saving up no ERS. That's my big concern. Macho, fastest lap of the race. Further down the field, that's in 15th position. I'm not sure, by the way, if there's any rule of drivers having to let each other through, because Macho is still ahead of Lou. There's Lou basically going inside of him, and that again doesn't sit well with me, because it's a blue flag. You've got to get out of the way, surely.
This is really annoying for Lou.
It's so off-putting, and now he's just lost a bit of because he thinks there's a call on the inside line. He's going to get the DRS. He's going to get through on him finally. But Macho is just a real thorn in the side. If I was Macho, honestly, in this scenario, I'd just get out the bleeding way, for goodness sake. Give drivers a chance to potentially catch. And don't get on my bad side, because if drivers do get on my bad side, they'll know the treatment as Lou slides his way out the hairpin.
He will not win this. I think it's now clear for me as Montana is not making any mistakes. Just pushed way too.
Yeah, go on.
No. Get Macho his head now of Lou.
It's so annoying. If our head steward is watching, by the way.
The ghost is really annoying, and I think Lou will 100% report this.
Yeah,
okay,
Macho.
It makes no change in the timing screen, but it's so annoying. You are hunting for the win, and then you have a back marker who's just driving in you as it goes.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I think if honestly, if I was Macho, I'd have probably just let the rest of the field through, come into the pit lane and retire, because that's what you may as well do. If you don't want to pick up a penalty, retire now in this race, because I know for a fact something is going to be said after this race, and it's not going to be the best of things, let's just say. And Lou is going to be very annoyed. If I was in Macho's situation, I'd be so peed off, to be honest, and I'm putting that lightly.
I think Lou is definitely angry, will be angry, so yeah, 4 seconds to get now to the leader, and Lou lost much time with that slide out of the hairpin, and also 3/10 or something by Macho, who was just driving in him for some corners. So yeah, really annoying.
And then Macho has
goes into the pit lane now.
Yeah, I don't get that. You fought with a driver for 3 or 4 laps, and then you come in for fastest lap attempt. I mean, how stupid can you be?
I don't understand it also, James, but yeah. Let's see what stewards are gonna do. They definitely will, if it's gonna be reported, give some penalty point, because time penalty will not change anything. Bunty can also go for the fastest lap now, it's his pitting.
Oh, we have got a battle! YS Brand and MedTC battle for 4th, gets the job done. So YS Brand through down into P8, into turn 8, gets the job done. He's into 4th. Henry, though, on the back of Montana, there's still a battle on for this race lead. Lou, I think, is going to be okay. I say that with a lot of hesitancy. I think he's going to be okay, because Henry and Montana, they've hardly got any ERS. Neither's Lou. Lou's not really losing much time over the last few laps. I think Lou's got this, probably by about a second by the end of this race.
And Lou now needs to hope that Montana and Henry will battle hard for some corners. But yeah, 4 seconds is the gap to Henry, and then 4.5 to Montana. I don't think Lou will win this, but he will finish P3, and he should be happy maybe with that. His race pace was not the best today. I think he pushed way too much in the first stint with his ERS.
Yeah, you're saying that now, and I'm looking at that gap between Lou and Henry. That gap has just increased 0.6 per second in 1 lap. Lou is beginning to lose his tyres. Henry is keeping going only because the DRS is basically there. There is a pit stop, by the way. That is Harmon into the pit lane. They're going into the final lap, though, so Harmon has got no chance of getting the fastest lap attempt here. He's got no chance. Henry is going to try and set aside to Montana in towards turn number 1. But it's not going to be close enough. The gap is extending away ahead of Lou. This is going to be one to watch out for in terms of penalties. Last lap of the race, Montana leads the way. Henry there in second, Lou in third. It's 5.2 seconds now. In through the first couple of corners. This is going to be extraordinarily close, I think, on the run to the line. It all depends on how good Montana and Henry are on those tyres. Barak is through and Davidenko in through turn number 1, so gets the job done there. Oh, that was actually down in towards turn 13, my apologies. So that was done, and he's into 8th, but Montana is looking likely he's going to win this race, or is he? Because Lou is 5.2 seconds behind, and the gap's suddenly coming back to him. Henry's had no chance now. Yeah, he's got no chance. He's got no ERS. He may as well just sit and suffer, I think, and behind, because Montana has shown tonight, for the most part, why he is the king of Canada. But it's still 5.7, 5.8 seconds. The gap is still increasing. And there's got the DRS the trains as well. This is going to sort it out. Montana and Henry running down into the final couple of corners. It's Montana through the wall of champion chicane. And he comes to the line, potentially to win the Canadian Grand Prix. But we'll have to watch the timings. Montana to the line wins. Henry in second. Lou's done it. Lou, I think, has done it. To the line. Yes, he does. He wins. Lou from pole position with no penalties takes the race win here in Canada. That got extraordinarily close. One more lap, it would have been Montana's and Henry's for first and second. But Lou takes the win. Montana there in second. Henry in third. YS Brand drove a hell of a race again in 4th. Really, really good driver wherever we've got him from. Really good. Matey C's 5th on 30 lap all mediums.
30 lap all. Let's look at the tyres.
That's unbelievable. Wow. How's he got those tyres to the end?
Lou now his second win, and that's really good for him, as his season is not the best at this moment. So that was a controversial pit entry from Lou. Is Montana saying in the chat?
Yeah. Obviously, pit entries, pit exits, I think, are getting monitored tonight in thingy. But there's the punch of the air. That's the first time I've ever seen a driver do that, actually. Punch of the air from the Haasman. And it is Lou to the top step of the podium. Driver of the day, awarded by the in-game fans, is Barak, his teammate. So driver of the day goes to him. But Lou, what an extraordinarily close race that was to the end. But he does it, and he does it, I wouldn't say in style, he had to fight for that, and it's only because of penalties he gets the race win. Montana there finishing in second. Henry drove his best race of the season by an absolute mile to finish in third, even though I think he's already picked up a podium this season as Henry. Let me check, has he? Where is Henry on the standings? He's not even there. Oh, there he is. No, he hasn't even picked up a podium, so that's his first podium of the season. And Henry will be absolutely delighted, and that was his best race by an absolute mile this season as well.
I am just inviting the drivers to the party for the interviews.
Yep, while you do that, I will run through the grid order, and it is Lou out on top in... Can only be described as a dramatic ending to that Grand Prix. By the way, look at the top three fastest laps. 1:10.3, 1:10.2, 1:10.2. Lou, Montana and Henry first, second and third. YSpan drove a really, really good race once again in fourth. Métis C arguably could be driver of the day there in fifth. Yona in sixth. Barak in seventh, drove well, 12 positions, 12th on the grid up to seventh. Gets the fastest lap point as well. Davidenko there in eighth, Hawk in ninth. Physical ran off the top 10. Jensen out of the points. Montana takes the championship lead by 6 points if those penalties aren't to be removed. Ryan, Bunty, Harmon and Macho top 15. Then Yarrow 1, Rocco and Marine, the 3 DNFs out on track. Hopefully, as I say, Jesse is busy, I'm sure, getting the top 3 in at this point. And hopefully we can speak to all 3 of them.
Montana joined the party, so hopefully Lou and Henry will come also to do an interview.
It's weird, I'm not getting any notifications again that people's here. So every single Tuesday night this happens.
Yeah, Montana is in the party now.
Let me have a look. I'll get up on my PS so I can follow who actually joins the party on my PS app. So just give me a second. I know Montana's already here because I've just heard him there in the background. But yeah, we'll go to the interviews, obviously. Montana taking that race win out on track. It got very... No, finishing second out on track. But obviously we'll wait and see if Lou was going to join first before we interview Montana. I think
the drivers to join.
Yeah, I know Lou normally does join whenever he does get a podium or wherever he gets an interview.
Oh, Lou was in.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi was a little bit slow.
Yeah, it's just updated on my end as well. We can now speak, of course, to the man who finished in P1, and that, of course, is Lou. And Lou, penalties, the order of the day for the other two. You take the race win by 3.5 tenths of a second. That got desperate right at the end of the race, because I genuinely didn't think you wouldn't do it.
Me neither, to be honest. I just only had a setup for starting pole and keeping P1. I had so much straight line speed on my setup, so yeah, I was doubting it as well. But yeah, nevertheless, still got it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, still got it somehow. Talk us through that late pit stop as well that you made, obviously, because you went set of mediums to a set of softs. Montana went set of mediums ahead of you. You dropped off quite a lot in terms of the pace right at the end of the race. Were the tyres just purely overheating, and was it the wrong choice at the end?
They were not really overheating, but they were high tire percentage. I think Montana's tires were definitely much lower. So yeah, I think that made a big difference. And yeah, I was also sliding a lot the last 3 laps. So yeah, not ideal.
Not ideal at all. I believe you move into 4th in the standings as well, because Ruti wasn't here tonight, so you move into 4th in the standings. Looking at those final run of races, obviously we've got the sprint race next week in Monza, and then we've got the likes of Abu Dhabi, America still to come. What out of those picks, or what out of those tracks, is your favourite track to drive around?
I know which one. I immediately know which one.
Yeah, you can say.
For sure.
Yeah, that is my favourite on those last races. Yeah.
It's only a few weeks to wait. Only a few weeks to wait. Jesse, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Wait a little bit of seconds. Henry said that he turned off everything. Yeah, Lou, really good race for you. Canada's 2nd win of the season. Are you confident for the next few races of the season? Italy sprint race, Abu Dhabi, USA, Mexico, and then Brazil is the final.
No, not at all confident because there is some other guy in the party here, and he is definitely faster than me. So yeah, not confident at all.
Well, Abu Dhabi can be a great battle between you two. Italy next week. You were second there last season, I believe. Do you like the track?
Yeah, I think I will try something different, but I sort of like the track, yes.
Congrats with P1.
Yeah, congrats with 3-1. I've got nothing else to add as well. You can go and enjoy evening.
Thanks for commentating, guys.
No problem.
You're very welcome indeed. And we'll now speak to the man who, of course, finished P1 out on track, but as a result of penalties, finished there in P2. Of course, it is Montana. And Montana, I've got to say, King of Canada Drive. It's P2, though, in the end. Slightly disappointing, but I have a feeling you might look into getting a penalty possibly for Lou in terms of a pit entry.
Yes, I don't mean it in a bad way, so I just have to try to get every point I can, really. So, just gonna try. But he drove great. So no penalties in Canada is impressive. Especially you said he had 2 warnings early on in the first stint, even. So, yeah, good stuff from him. But happy with my pace. Obviously, 3/10 at the end sucks a little bit, but important. I also saw the other guys failing, Barak and Jensen. So. Should be leading the championship now, which is great, obviously, because I thought Jensen would be quite quick. And yeah, I had a horrible setup on in comparison to Lou on the straights, but yeah, generally not too unhappy.
Yeah, another lap I think it could have been eyeing up towards you winning and Henry finishing second. I think if there was one more lap, it would have probably went that way, definitely. Don't know why somebody has started the party with me. Don't know what he wants. I'm still commentating though, so I'm going to continue with the interview at this point. As you alluded to there, obviously, you take the championship lead off Jensen, who finished outside of the points. Going into the final run of races, the final 5 rounds of the championship, what is your favourite track out of those 5? Because I have a feeling you've probably got many.
Let me have a quick look. Monza, I'm going to run a nasty setup there. Abu Dhabi, world record by a couple of tenths. USA, haven't driven that in a while. Mexico should be fine, and Brazil, I don't know, we have to see about that, but yeah, some nasty setups, and then we should be good to go.
Yeah, I think it's a 6-point advantage as well going into next week in the sprint race and the feature race, indeed, in Monza. Jesse, any questions?
Yeah, Monza next week. Sprint race again. You finish in Austria 4th in the sprint and P1 in a race. Are you looking forward to the sprint, the second and last one of the season?
I always like a little bit of change in league racing, but it kind of makes things awkward with strategies and gambles and stuff, so I have to see what we do there, because it's literally whenever a safety car comes out it decides the race, which is a bit of a shame. And there will be safety cars because they fucked up the curbs in Italy, so yeah, it's going to be a big gamble, a bit random, so just trying to run some setups and maybe get those curbs under control, and then we'll try to rescue something.
Well, that was my question. Good luck for next week. And
congratulations.
Thanks
for commentating, guys.
You are very welcome indeed. Have we got Henry in the party as well?
No, he turned off everything he said in the Discord, so...
Don't blame him. He wants to escape from an interview with me, that's what it is.
I understand that.
Running scared, I think, was what Henry's trying to do. No, but honestly, totally understand if he doesn't want to have an interview. Maybe other things are going on in his life after the race, and that is totally understandable as well. Looking through some of the comments that we received later on, Lou is a ghost, apparently, according to Neil Zano, which is very good, obviously, to hear. But we've got to come on to, of course, Monza next week, Jesse. It's going to be sprint race and feature race, of course, multiple times. It's going to be added in, obviously, on the new game. Just how is the racing going to pan out next week? Because Monza, if everything's clean around there, could produce race of the season.
I hope so. I hope it will be clean. Tonight, we don't have, from what I saw, very heavy incidents. Yeah, Monza, really iconic, historic track. A track where also some DRS trains will come. The tempo of speed, we call it. And I'm looking forward to it, especially sprint race, so something different.
Yeah, likewise here, I think definitely, and obviously with the Temple of Speed, 76% of the lap in the current F1 cars can be taken at flat out speed. I believe it's somewhere around 80% in the actual new Formula 1 cars when it gets there to Monza in a few months' time. I think it's in September, if I'm not mistaken, the Italian Grand Prix this year. But that rounds us off very nicely, of course, indeed. Jesse, before we end, who is your driver of the day?
Let me have a look at the results as YouTube is glitching again. Well, Barek did a good job from P12 to P7 with also some unlucky moments. Also Matty from 9th to 5th with 13th lap of medium tires. So I would say Barek or Matty.
Yeah, I was looking towards more Barak sort of position, but judging by how many positions he actually gained out on track, he finished, what was it, in 5th? Seventh? So he gained 5 positions, Medisi gained 4, yeah, it's gone Barak. He gained more positions than him, and that's
and
basically...
also with Barak, I think some bad luck. He's from
yeah.
in the race, so...
Yeah, Medisi 5th as well, probably one of his best races of the season as well, and hopefully that form will continue from the former F1 Esports Challengers driver. That rounds us up very nicely, of course, here for FRL F1. If you do want more action to come, we are going to be back live next week, of course, F3 and F4 in Monza in the sprint qualifying. Hopefully races are going to be clean for both F3 and F4 on Monday. That's at 7 PM UK time. And, of course, you can catch F2 and F1 7 PM UK time as well. And that is on Tuesday with both sprint and feature race to come, of course, in Monza at the Temple of Speed. That rounds us up very nicely, of course. Big thank you to Montana and to Lou for joining me in the commentary box for the interviews. Much appreciated as always. And a big thank you, of course, to Jesse for joining me in the commentary box as well as my co-coms for the evening. And hopefully we are going to be continuing this partnership next week in Monza. Thank you so much, though, for watching. And until next time, bienvenue. No, bienvenue's hello, isn't it? Au revoir. There you go. Goodbye.
Doei.